years ago. You have to be moved by that moment. And while we want to make sure that we remember the loss, we really want to focus on the legacy. The history is what the history is. But what we can do in the future is what's so important. And so I think that this anniversary really gives us an opportunity to reflect, think about what Dr. King did in 39 years. I'm 57 years old. I haven't accomplished hardly anything in comparison to that great peacemaker. But think of what he did in 39 short years, and think of what we are being called to do. Our theme is, where do we go from here? And it's not the question that we ask, it's the question that Dr. King asked with the title of his final book being, Where Do We Go From Here? Chaos or Community? And I think he said chaos or community because it's our choice. We can have chaos or we can build community.
Right.
So I think as we go through this monumental anniversary, that we need to think about what we want to do as we move forward. And a lot of good work is already happening here in Memphis and frankly across the country. But in the 50 years, there's been a little bit of backstepping that we've done. And we need to make sure that we're moving in the correct direction.
Right.
Wonderful answer. Tell me, Terry, if you could just run through what we can expect today.
So all morning long here, we'll have things happening here in the courtyard, entertainment, speeches, community organizations talking about their missions and why that is important as it relates to Dr. King. That will take place until about 3 o'clock. At 3:30, at 3:15, we'll actually begin to move people to settle in for the commemoration service. And we will have a service that is really divided into 3 sections: faith, justice, and peace, because those were things that were important to Dr. King. We will have Father Michael Flager as our keynote speaker. But we will also hear from Reverend Jesse Jackson, Reverend William Barber, Reverend James Lawson, and many others. And at 6:01, that bell right there, which has spent its life at Claiborne Temple and has been moved here for this occasion, will begin to toll 39 times in symbolism for Dr. King's 39 years on this earth. It will ring here at the National Civil Rights Museum at 6:01, and then you can plan to hear bells throughout the city beginning at 6:03. And then at 6:05, they will ring across the nation, and at 6:07, we will have bells ringing internationally, including at the Vatican.
Yes.
So we have bells that
Yes.
will be ringing from Anchorage, Alaska, to Jacksonville, Florida, to Rhode Island, and San Diego. I think that covers all points,
Right.
east, west, north, and south. So we think it will be very meaningful. I guess what I'm asking of people today is really, think. My husband always says, if you think more, you would thank more. And
Right.
so today is a day for thinking and
Thinking.
reflection.
Right.
Terry Freeman, the president of the National Civil Rights Museum.
Yeah!
With us, everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, Rabbi Ben Kamen.
Good morning, everyone. What a blessing to be here. I want to acknowledge the president of this museum, Terry Freeman, and welcome all of you who've come from many places. I've been one of several who's been asked to offer just a few moments of a recollection and a notion of how I have any connection or what things affected me to aspire to follow the life and work of Dr. King of blessed memory. So I want to tell you this morning about my high school chum. His name is Clifton Fleetwood. Now, with a name like that, you tend to remember it. Clifton Fleetwood and I were in the Woodward High School marching band in 1968 at Cincinnati, Ohio. And we always talked. He was African American. I'm this Jewish guy, about Dr. King. And we certainly, as all of our high school, were deeply affected by the assassination that took place here 50 years ago. The morning after the assassination of Dr. King, I walked to school. I was walkable. And as I approached my school, I saw about 400 African American youngsters, many of them my classmates, on the front lawn, and they were in pain, and they were praying, and they were pleading. And I looked at them and I understood that they and I had lost our Moses. I'm deeply concerned about the anguish that they had.
Their liberator.
The police were deeply concerned about the anger that they declared. So I decided to walk up to this demonstration of 400 black kids. They're my classmates. They were fellow citizens. And I saw my friend Clifton Fleetwood, who was very, very tall. And I approached the crowd, walking toward him that bitter morning, the morning after Dr. King had died. And Clifton got up and he said, "No, Cayman, this is not for you." I said, "What do you mean it's not for me?" And I walked away from the assembly very, very brokenhearted. And our friendship was flawed from then on in our high school years. Clifton was the drum major of the high school band, and he was amazing, great musician. He named me the assistant drum major of the Woodward High School band, because like all of us who were Jews in that day, we did not make the football team. It was just that simple. I tried, but we didn't get out there. So he and I were in the